What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the weekly comic roundup from Comic Drops, where we talk about, discuss some of this week's releases in the world of comic books. Joining me again, as always, is my good friend Ender Lilly. How are you doing?
I'm great. Talk some comics.
Yeah, there was a pretty decent amount of comics out today. I really enjoyed every book or for the most part, enjoyed every book that I read today.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I think diving right into it, we will start out with the new one that hasn't really been. I think this one. A lot of people were surprised with the announcement, didn't expect it, but Blue Beetle has his own book now, and so the Rebirth #1 came out for that today. So what did you think of that one?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good start. I'm not too familiar with Blue Beetle, at least not the Jaime Reyes version. But fans of Blue Beetle, whether you're fans of Reyes or Cord, will probably love this book, especially that it's great that they're putting both of them in it.
I think that's really cool. That's nice that they're not having to pick one.
Exactly. And yeah, I think fans of the character are really going to love the book. I did notice that there were a couple of scenes that they kind of went over again that we saw from the Rebirth one shot.
I didn't read the Rebirth.
Yeah, especially with Dr. Fate, who will also be playing a supporting role in the series, which is pretty cool.
That's what hooked me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because honestly, the first half of the issue, I was kind of not very I was thinking about not even finishing that book. Not gonna lie, but they just didn't pull me in. But then Doctor 8 showed up, and I was like, no, I gotta push through. And then Doctor 8 showed up, and I was like, Doctor Fate, not Doctor 8, but Doctor Fate showed up, and then I was like, yes, that is awesome, and he's gonna have a supporting role. I'm very hyped about that.
Yeah, I'll have to mirror what you said, because I was kind of in the same boat, because Blue Beetle, like I said, isn't one of my favorite characters. I know nothing about him really, and so it didn't really do much to bring me in. And I guess that would be my critique, is that it's not really that what should I say, appealing, I guess, to people who aren't fans of the character. I guess there wasn't really anything that was really gripping about it.
Yeah, I was kind of. It's a solid start, and I'm looking forward to more, but it didn't really pull me
right
in.
Exactly. But like I said, I think the fans of Blue Beetle will love it. It's just convincing the other people who aren't big fans, because I was with you. Until Dr. Fate showed up, I was kind of contemplating just stop reading, because I wasn't really getting into it too much.
Yeah, it did not have me, but I'm hopeful for the future installments.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on, we'll jump to Marvel for a second. Captain America, I'm not sure what issue.
Number 4.
4?
Yep.
4 came out. I've been caught up on this so far, but I did not pick up this issue. How was it?
It is really good. I am really liking this direction, and I'm a huge Captain America fan. I've probably stated that a few times here. And I was so upset with Marvel when I heard about the news that he was going to be Hydra. And it's actually playing out to be a really interesting story. And I feel like if he wasn't Hydra, an agent of Hydra, I feel like the story, it'd be good, but it wouldn't really have that, that piece that really pulls you back.
Layer.
Yeah. And just thinking that you're watching these pieces playing on the board of S.H.I.E.L.D. trying to fight Hydra, and you're realizing that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s biggest weapon is secretly working against them. So it's just so cool. And
it's a really cool premise. I really liked it. I was definitely I was angry at first, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
'Cause that's completely against it, but at the same time, it's a very cool story tool that they've used.
Exactly.
And it's new and refreshing. And I don't know, I think it's a great idea.
Exactly. It's not like he's going to be Hydra forever. Less than a year, he'll probably go back to being regular Steve Rogers. So just enjoy it while it's here, because it's actually turning out to be a really, really cool story so far. And the artwork has been fantastic as well. Some great supporting characters. and it's another chance to see Red Skull. I mean, what more reason do you need?
I honestly, I feel like this is my catchphrase now. Like, I need to / will get caught up.
Oh yeah, you should.
But
Personally, it's one of my favorite Marvel books / one of my favorite books of any publisher I'm reading right now. So
I mean, I think that's no surprise, but also like because it's a great book.
yeah, it is, and I feel like a few people just jumped off because they're like, oh, you're just making him Hydra, you're just making him evil, and it's not that at all. I mean, yeah, you can say it's a ploy, but it's
when it's used as to move forward the story and incorporate it into the story as they have, it works.
Exactly, and I think they're doing a pretty good job so far. So I'm excited. I'm so used to the Rebirth schedule that I'm like, oh, 2 weeks for another Captain America, and I'm like, no, a month.
It dawned on me earlier. I was like, I am so angry that All Star Batman is a monthly because I'm so used to the bi-weekly schedule.
Me too. And then I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, are you serious? I have to wait until the end of September. I'm like, oh, well, I guess it's a good book if you're that eager for the next one. So.
But yeah, moving on with that little Batman segue, we'll jump on to Detective Comics, which I have to say is my favorite issue of the week, my favorite book.
Mm-hmm.
It destroyed me. The first 2 pages emotionally, like it just hit me right in the feels.
I agree.
And so immediately, like it got me there. Like those 2 pages alone are the best comic I read this week.
Yeah.
But
talk about it a little bit.
Okay, so the opening and the story, I don't want to spoil the opening part.
Well, it was a preview. It was in the previews anyway.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll spoil it then. But so the opening part, the flashback, where we get some backstory between Kate Kane and Bruce Wayne, and it's at his parents' funeral, and she goes over and comforts him, and it's heart-wrenching, okay? It really is. Mm-hmm. But anyways, we move on from that, and in the present day, they've recovered the Belfry. And now we get a lot of character interaction and fallout from the past couple issues because there's been a lot of action and development as far as that goes. And so we get more in between the characters and then interactions with all of them. And then towards the end, of course, there's the new threat coming in. And I really loved the entire book, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the pacing was great. The character beats were they were on point. I really like the story that they're doing with Red Robin, actually.
Yeah.
I was a little hesitant about it at first, but I like the way that it's playing out. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, everyone just feels really in character, and I love the way that everyone's written.
Yeah.
And then the art I still love. And then there were some panels that were different. I don't know if it was a different artist or but
yeah.
Anyways, that stood out more, but I loved the book overall.
Yeah, I thought it was a good issue. It was a dramatic issue, of course. That beginning scene was, like you said, heart-wrenching. I love that they're actually diving into their history a bit because we both talked about when the first issue came out, we're like, how did we not put it together that, Batwoman...
Yeah, I'd totally forgotten about it.
That they're cousins. It's like, of course they're cousins. She's a Kane, he's a Wayne. His mom was Martha Kane, right? So
yeah.
But so yeah, that little history we got between them was fantastic. I loved it. The issue is pretty much a setup issue to continue on with the attacks. This new threat that her father is preparing, which I think is great. I'm so excited for it. And it's okay that it's a setup issue because the last couple were pretty intense issues. So I didn't think it was a bad
felt like
way.
a nice little slowdown and change of pace from the last
exactly.
This series has just been consistently hitting the notes that it needed to hit.
Absolutely.
When it needed to hit them.
It's easily one of the best Rebirth books out there right now. And I was saying on Twitter today, I absolutely love how Tynion writes Batman. I think out of him, Snyder, and King, I think he writes Batman the best. I think his dialogue for him sounds exactly like something Batman would say. So
wow. I remember you being hesitant about his writing at first.
I was, because I didn't really like. I did not like his.
Hear that. That's good.
Yeah, I didn't like his New 52 work all that much, but like you said, this book has been hitting all the right notes, and I don't know. This feels just like a story that Tynion's been wanting to write forever.
It's awesome. I love this story and this book so far. It's been phenomenal. Definitely pick it up if you have not.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But continuing on that DC train, Action Comics number, I don't know what issue.
A large number.
I always get. Oh yeah, these are the
900 something.
Yeah. Okay.
Something.
So way up there.
Yeah.
Came out today, and that was this is the final issue of the Doomsday arc.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, like, this arc went on for too long, and I didn't even read it. Like, it.
You've just seen me bitch and moan about it, right?
How was it?
It was actually pretty good, and
okay, like that's good.
Yeah, like I had said, this book so far has been pretty redundant. The past few issues felt like the same issue, except Wonder Woman's here. Then it's the same issue. It's Superman fighting Doomsday, Lois and John watching him on the TV screen, continually telling us about the time he got killed by Doomsday back in the pre-52, and then Mr. Oz staring at a computer screen being like, oh yes, this is part of my plan. And so that was like pretty much every Action Comics issue of this arc.
That's your summary by Andrew Lilly.
Yes, exactly. So hire me to write those solicits.
That's not good though. Like, you shouldn't be able to summarize 5 issues into that.
No, they should be more memorable than that. But okay, this issue sort of went with the same formula. Not Batman. Superman's fighting Doomsday, and so he's got to figure out a way to stop Doomsday. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's some really good character interactions, and I think that's actually the strength of the book, are the different characters, and it's setting it up for the next arc, where we learn more about this mysterious new Clark Kent. And what I'm looking forward to most is how Superman is going to interact with the current Lex Luthor, because now he's going by Superman too. And I almost would have rather this starting arc have been about Luthor and Superman, because
that's what it should have been. That's how it like started out, kind of.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm just so burned out by Doomsday. It's just, he's not even like that interesting of a character, to be honest. Not to me, at least. I mean, how many different ways can you write a story about him just destroying buildings and hunting Superman? So, and the fact that we've seen him like 2 or 3 times already since the New 52. So
yeah, it's not. We need to put him to the sideline for a little bit.
Yeah, for a couple of years at least. But like I said, it was a good conclusion to a rather redundant first story arc. But I'm looking forward to what comes next. It's got a great art team. I think Dan Jurgens, the best thing he does are the characterizations. His plots, even with the Lois and Clark book, I didn't find the plot to be that good, but the characterizations were really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. But if you dropped off Action Comics, you're not missing anything. Just pick it up with the next issue.
That's probably what I'll do then. But anyways, moving on to an issue that or a book that I really loved. I have loved since it started out in Rebirth. The Flash number 5 came out.
Mm-hmm.
And this issue was different than the previous ones. The narrator switched up. So we had Mina, I don't know how to say her last name.
Oh yeah.
But the female speedster that Barry has been working with in Star Lab Scientist.
Fast Track.
Yes, Fast Track is now her superhero name. But she's the narrator, and so we follow her, and she's, fighting bad guys in the city. That's part of it, but then also helping train with the speedsters, and then she actually trains with Wally West. And, there's that, and then we also get some Barry at the police station, and then Barry also talks with Iris, and so there was just kind of there was a couple different things happening, but I really liked all of them together. I liked the Mina and Wally. I liked their character bonding that they had there, and just seeing them interact and seeing Wally kind of being hesitant, but then still like you could see how much fun he was having using the Speed Force, and like it was really cool to see.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we finally get more of Godspeed, which I was so hyped about. I love his character design. He looks amazing. And the fact that he hasn't talked yet is spectacular. Like, he's so menacing.
Yeah. I agree. I dropped off this book. It was not doing it for me. But I ended up checking out today's issue. I don't know, just because I wanted to. But I agree. I liked Mina. She's a new character, so it's cool. I like seeing her and Wally. I will say her relationship with Barry, while it's kind of cool, seems really rushed right now.
I mean, they're moving fast.
Yeah, okay. The excuse is it's a Flash book. But I don't know. I guess some of the interactions felt a little forced to me, but overall they were enjoyable. My biggest complaint about the Flash is that it's a pretty slow burn. Like you, I'm looking forward to Godspeed. I like his design. It was a pretty good issue. Not bad, nothing spectacular, but I did like the art a lot better than what's the main guy's name? I can't remember.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Carmine something, or I don't know. But
I did love this art. The art was spectacular.
Yeah, I like this art a lot. It'll be interesting to see. Well, we can't spoil the ending, but it will be interesting to see what happens with that cliffhanger.
Yeah, I didn't really expect it, honestly, going into the book, but I'm intrigued and eager for the next book.
Yeah.
But moving along to the Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 3,
I think.
Right. Yeah. 3 came out today. Mm-hmm. So I know that this has been one of your favorite books so far. So what did you think of today's?
I thought it was pretty good. I'm liking it a lot. It feels like a good classic Green Lantern story, and even like a space opera as well. I will say though that it feels kind of like the book's not moving very fast. Hal was sort of in the same position as he was the last issue. So I guess it was just kind of felt like a similar issue to me. But it was cool to see how Sinestro his big plan kind of coming into motion now with the Green Lanterns gone and Hal Jordan being the only one left in our universe. The art is pretty good. It's actually really good. The only thing I don't like is how he draws Soranic, and it's just so weird because everything else looks so good. And her story will actually be kind of cool too, since she's always been sort of against Sinestro and the way he played her essentially to get the galaxy's trust in the Sinestro Corps.
She's gonna be real mad.
Oh yeah, big time. So I'm interested to see her story. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. It could have moved the plot forward a little bit more, but
yeah, it did kind of feel like the same. The art is. I'm looking at a couple of the splash pages now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the art's good, but next issue, I'm just kind of hoping that the story picks up a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm basically gonna have to mirror like everything you said. It's a classic Green Lantern Hal Jordan book. Definitely feels like that. I will say I was a little disappointed that tease with Guy Gardner at the beginning didn't have more in the later half. I guess that'll obviously pay off later, but I I don't think they should have put that in there in this one if they weren't going to do anything else with it here. But yeah, other than that's probably my biggest complaint. But and then the fact that it did kind of feel like a rehash. But other than that, it's still a fun read.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely one of the best books out there right now. Just those small complaints, they're not really much. It's just kind of like minor things. But yeah, it's definitely a great book, and you should pick it up if you haven't and give it a try, see if you like it. But Titans number 2 came out today, and it moved the story forward a lot. There's now this magician who has created clones, basically, but they're generated by magic, of the Titans, but they're younger versions. He's created them out of time, I think. He's like captured them in time or something.
All right.
But anyways, they're attacking the city, and he's going through all of that. And so then the Titans show up and have to fight them. And it's basically, the issue is a whole action sequence of that. And I love Brett Booth's art. So the entire thing is so great to look at for me. Like, it's just gorgeous and extremely well drawn. But anyways, the story is, like, the actual what they're doing. It has me interested, but it's not, like, the best. But I think the characters are really, like, they're really well done here. And I'm interested more. Linda Park is definitely going to have a huge play in what happens, and Wally's also a key focus in this.
Nice.
And so I'm really interested to see where that goes. It's definitely worth picking up. Alright, so it looks like that's the end of this week's roundup. As always, be sure if there's a book that we haven't talked about or didn't touch on that you would like us to, please leave it down in the comments below, and we will try to add it to our pull list. But now I guess we'll plug our social media. So where can people find you, Ander?
I'm on Twitter at AnderWriter. Come on by, let's talk some comics. Say Aquaman's the best. All right.
He's pretty great, honestly. But you can find me on Twitter at APBatman with 2 T's. And yeah, come by, talk Batman, respectively, and talk about DC films, any movies, really. Watch Seven, short plug. I watched that for the first time the other day, and I've been thinking about it ever since. But
nice.
Anyways, that does it for this week's roundup, and always be sure to keep it locked to Comic Drops for the latest drops in superhero news and entertainment. Later.